Hello, and welcome to our Turn Scrolls into Sales class today. Today, we're going to talk about how to create a funnel that pays you daily. I'm actually going to walk through two, maybe three different ways to create a funnel that can hopefully bring you in and some leads and monetize your channel pretty quickly. So my name is Mandy Summers. I'm the owner, creator, founder of summerschool.com, and that is SOMMERS. And I have been teaching people how to grow online, especially using YouTube, for the last, let's see, how many years has it been? 6-7 years. On this Summer School channel, this is a brand new channel that I just barely got started. And it's been super fun, but I have a couple other channels that I have grown to over 10,000 subscribers. And so I wanted to start this marketing channel because my other one is all about health and wellness. And I actually have a ton of things that we teach on Summer School that have to do with marketing. So welcome to Summer School. So glad you're here. In this video, we are going to be building out some funnels. We're going to build out some funnels and see exactly what we need to do to take your viewers and turn them into paying clients. There's a recipe and a formula for this. And when we talked on Monday, we talked all about how it's important to really have a vision and know kind of what you're creating on this channel. Then the second day, we talked all about knowing your ideal client and knowing how to connect with that ideal client, some of the messaging behind that. We went through and worked out like how to create posts that actually resonate and convert. And so now today, we're going to jump into funnel creation. And as we do this, I want you to start thinking, like, what is it that you could give away to get people on your list? Hopefully, you can you can have some really great ideas based off of the things that you learned about your ideal client in our ideal client workshop. So I'm curious, go ahead and put in the comments below where you're joining us from. Let me know if you have attended. So put a 1 if you've attended day 1 or 2, put a 3 if this is your day 3 and you are brand new for the very first time. And if so, welcome. I hope that you're glad to be here. So today we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about two separate platforms. The first platform I want to talk about monetizing is Instagram. And this is not one that I teach very often, but a couple years back, I had some students who really wanted to grow on Instagram. Now, here are my feelings on growing on Instagram. It's a great platform. It's fun to scroll on. But if you are wanting somebody who is serious about your product or service, YouTube is a really great place to be because that's where and I want you to think about your habits. Do you come to YouTube or do you go to Instagram to figure out how to build a shelf or how to fix something or how to learn about something? No, we usually go to Instagram just to scroll, right? We're just like mindlessly scrolling versus going to YouTube. And that's where we go to get all of our instruction on how to build the shelf from IKEA or, different things like that. And so YouTube is powerful because people go there to spend time learning. I think way more than they do on Instagram. And if they're coming to learn on Instagram, they want to learn in little tiny snippets. It's like 10-second learning snippets versus the long form, which on YouTube, which they're coming to watch and actually be educated for like long periods of time. So when you're thinking about converting on these two platforms and setting a funnel up on these two platforms, then you have to think, okay, what are short, sweet, instant ways that I can create momentum on Instagram, right? Like, so we've got that. And then we have to think, and how do we nurture them multiple times? Because it takes up to like 20 to 25 times of them getting to know you before they really want to make a purchase. Most of the time, unless you use that formula I gave yesterday, that one, it makes it a little bit shorter. So our funnel on Instagram is going to be different than our funnel on YouTube. YouTube is going to give them a little more time to get to know, like, and trust you. They're going to feel like they're part of your community. And it's just going to be a different feel. And so on Instagram, there are a few ways that I love getting my funnel set up on there. And everything that we do, you actually need a place to send them. And so you want to be thinking, where am I going to actually send them? But it's also, how are you going to capture that lead? And that's actually what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about how to like take the people scrolling and turn them into paying leads, which is totally awesome, super fun. So I actually have two different platforms that I'm going to be talking about today. And one of them is one that you can actually do both of these things on. So I just want to make sure, like, when I teach Instagram, you can, in theory, set this up on the second platform I'm going to be talking about. But what I have found is it's a little clunky. And so I am still using this other, it's actually called ManyChat. So I'm using ManyChat for Instagram, and I'm using GHL for everything else. And what I build out in ManyChat, you can do in GHL as well. It's just a little more clunky. So I would love for you to put in the description, if you are somebody who is wanting to grow their influence and their monetize Instagram, put an I in the comments. And if you're wanting to really grow on it on YouTube, then put a Y in the comments. And then we can kind of see which one, what we're working with here. That would actually be awesome. And then I'll know what to spend the majority of the time on. Now, both of these methods are going to require, like I said, that you have a link of a place to send them. And GHL is going to come in clutch for us in that section, simply because GHL is where we create our funnels. It's where we email from. It's where we have our membership sites. It's where you can do everything that you need to do to monetize is going to happen in this system. So I'm actually going to drop a link in the description below so you have access to GHL. This link right here is going to give you access to a 30-day trial. Plus, it's also going to put you in my GHL group, where you're going to get every month new workflows and funnels from me based off of what I've been creating. So you'll have access to that. And so as I go through this today, if you're like, yes, I totally like this, I would love for you to jump into our GHL group, and you'll actually also get access to weekly coaching or bi-weekly coaching from me in our Lead Masters class, where you can come in and every other week you can bring a project, and I will actually personally give you coaching for that. And our Lead Masters class actually happens 4 times a month. And that is for our paying Lead Masters clients, but we bring in our affiliates for 2 of those times each month to help walk them through their GHL stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you have access to that. And we're so lucky that GHL has extended a 30-day like free trial. Like, how awesome is that? It's absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to walk you through how to build out first. Well, actually, before I do that, let's talk through the process of getting people into your funnel on Instagram. So the best way that I have found doing this, so a couple years back, I had students that said, hey, I really want to learn how to do Instagram. So of course I had to learn how to do Instagram. And I went from having like 1,200 subscribers to about, I think we're like at 8,000 right now, something like that. And what I have found in the process was, first of all, in growing my Instagram channel, I had to be consistent every day. That was key. And when I was posting on a consistent basis, that is when I was growing on a consistent basis. And of course, it's not just about posting. It's like YouTube. It's like you got to post, you got to interact, you got to comment, you got to set things up. So your posts are actually getting interaction. That's what we want, because if your posts get interaction, then it will get pushed out to more people. The algorithm You always have to think of the algorithm as your audience. And if your audience is responding, the algorithm wants to find you more of your audience. Does that make sense? Like, put a 3 in the comments if that makes sense. If your audience is responding, the algorithm will respond and say, let's give them more audience. If you're posting and your algorithm and your audience is not responding, that does not promote the algorithm to promote you. Does that, like, okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So anytime you're posting, you want to be thinking, how can I get my audience to engage? How can I get my audience to comment? And on YouTube, it's always like we comment, we like it. And so, like, right at the beginning, I'll say, welcome to the channel. My name, or in this video, we're going to talk about da 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 da. Actually, I usually try not to start with welcome unless I'm live. So it's like, something like, have you been wondering how, so this, let me just show you. This particular video is titled Turn Scrolls into Sales, Create a Funnel That Pays You Daily. Okay. So when I'm scripting, I've got my title and I'll say, have you been wondering how to turn scrolls into sales? Today, we're going to create a funnel that pays you daily. So see how, like, in the first 5 seconds, I'm like bringing that in. And then I go right into, my name is Mandy Summers. I am the owner and creator of Summer School. If you would like to download my YouTube guide, go ahead and click the link in the description below. Stick around to the end so you can be notified. Like, I go through this whole entire thing. And actually, for my health and wellness channel, it's a lot easier because I've been saying it for years and this one's brand new. And I just realized I need to actually get better at this for this particular channel. But it's like, you want to hook them in and then ask them to do the next, what's the next thing that you're going to want them to do? And so when you're thinking Instagram, we have a very short, condensed time. And it could be that you have between 5 seconds to 90 seconds, right? Something like that. So what we need to do in this process is think, okay, how do I hook them in and get them to take action quickly? What can I do? And what I have found, the best way that I can get them to take action is by offering some sort of support or help that they can then, and you'll say something like, comment chat below to get access to learn about my chatbot course, something like that, which I have a chatbot course, and that's exactly what we've done in the process. And we get tons of comments when I am setting it up that way. So you have to start thinking, if you're focused in on Instagram and you've got a very short amount of time, what are you going to give them in exchange for them giving you something, which is now they have access to either a course, or they're going to give you money. They're going to give you their email. They're going to give you a follow. They're going to give you a like. Like, what are you going to give them in response to what they have given you? And then we have to let them know very quickly. And then we have to be able to deliver on that extremely quickly as well. So it's a combination of a couple different things. So when you begin creating content like this, you have to have a funnel ready so that you have a place to send them. You could, of course, like, let's just say you want to test this out and you're not ready to create a funnel. You could create like my top 10 favorite movies, and you could create a reel that's like, and actually this is one that I did, my top 10 favorite or 20 favorite books. And I just put it all into a PDF. I actually did put it into a funnel, but I didn't need to put it into a funnel, in order to test this out. So if you want to test this out, do this today. Create something like my 3 wellness tips, my top 10 ways to sleep better at night, like whatever it is, put it into a Google Doc, and then create an Instagram post that says, are you struggling to sleep better? Comment sleep below if you want my top 10 favorite tips for sleeping better. And then you go into your content. Here's one of my favorite ways. And you're going to get the rest, the 9 other ways, if you comment sleep below. And then from that, we're number 1, we're getting interaction. Number 2, we are getting contacts that are interested in what we've got. So now we are actively like building an audience. And number 3, we're delivering something of value to them. And so then what happens is we come in, they comment sleep, and that triggers what I'm about to show you. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. And I'm going to first show you in ManyChat, and then we're going to go over into GHL. I'll show you how to do it in GHL as well. I'm just, like I said, I just haven't like fully been able to get GHL to convert as well as ManyChat yet. And I will tell you, GHL is amazing and they're always improving. And I use it for everything else. This is the only other program that I use occasionally because I haven't found that it converts perfectly for this. So let's jump into ManyChat, and ManyChat is actually it's a chat bot. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Here's a link in the description below so you can check it out. And I see that there's a lot of comments coming in. So much catching up to do. I'm here knowing I need to go back and watch all the videos. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see everybody here. Thank you so much for joining in. And I am super happy that you're here. Okay, so let's jump in. And, oh, there we go. I was like, I know I've got it here. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to walk through first ManyChat, and then I'm going to build out a funnel on GHL, and I'm going to show you how to integrate this in. We want to turn those scrolls into sales. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole point of this, is to help you learn how to turn your scrolls into sales. Okay, so we need this one right here. All right. Let's just see. There we go. Yeah, we're here. Just wanted to make sure. I'm never sure if I'm like sharing my screen right. Like, do you ever do that where you're like, what did I just share? Not sure. Okay. So ManyChat is connected into Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, I think even TikTok now. I'm only using it for Instagram and Facebook currently. So anytime I want to create an automation, and I actually have a chatbot course that comes with all of my automations. So if that's something that's interesting to you, I can find the link below so you're not having to create all of this on your own. Let's just see right here, chatbot accelerator. There we go. And then there's like so I'll post this right here. So that's our chatbot accelerator. And it will walk you through exactly how to use ManyChat, and also, some of the best ways to set up. And then you can also snag as an add-on my automations that go along with that. Okay, so you have to think of this in terms of like, what do we want them to do? We want them to comment. So we're going to come over into automations here, and we are going to do, let's just say, I'm actually going to click into this one. This is one I never used. I thought about using it and I didn't, because I just didn't have the time to create a post about this. And so we're going to actually, you know what, maybe what I should do is create a brand new one. We're going to create a brand new one. So this is going to be auto DM links from comments right here. So this template. So we're going to click into that, and obviously it's connected into my Instagram account. And so it's going to say which post, do you want it to be a very specific post, or do you want it to be any post or any reel, or do you want it to be the next post or reel? So if you're setting this up beforehand, then you can say the next post or reel, and you don't have to come back in. This is actually a new feature, which I love, because it used to be that we'd have to like post and then we'd have to come in and set it up right after. Like the whole thing was set up, but as soon as we posted, we had to come in and select that post. So next post or reel, and then we're going to click next. And then right here, it's going to say a specific word or words. Okay. So if I'm going to create a funnel from this, if I want to gather leads from Instagram, which I have tried lots of things on Instagram, and this is the best way to get people in and to start purchasing, then I'm going to put that word here. So let's just say I did sleep, because and then I'm going to say, I'm going to do it like this. And then I'm going to do like this. And so any of these words that pop up, they are going to get a comment from me. So then we're going to click next. Okay. So this is like, what will they get next? And so we get to decide what's next. And this is another reason why it's important to kind of have that vision from day one, because you want to know where to lead them. In fact, as I coach some of my private clients, you might be feeling the same way, where you have all these great ideas, but then when you start building them out, you're like, oh, I'm not sure. And what I always see is around week 6 or 7 of private coaching, it's like things start to get clear. And the things that we were working on in the first 6 weeks where they were struggling, it's like now they know how to refine it because things are starting to get clear. And so having that vision is so important, and taking action is so important. In fact, I literally I think I screenshotted this last night. Okay, here it is. Actually, it was this morning. It was an Instagram post that said, Rumi said, as you start to walk on the way appears. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. And that is why, like, I'm proud of you for being here. You're taking action. Now it's time to start posting. Okay. So what we're going to say here is, when they comment this, it's actually, you're going to end up in their DMs, and you're going to say, hey there, I'm so happy that you're here. Thanks so much for your interest. Click below, and you can, change this to be whatever it was. And I'll send you the link. And so it's like, send me the link. So see how it's like showing up right here. And then you can either add a link with that will show up as a button. So, chat bot automations. And then I would add this link right in here. Let me see where it's at. Oh, I actually just put it right here. So I can just grab that, copy. Actually, maybe I can't, but we'll just go back because it's not like super, super important. So summersschool.com/chatbot. Actually, what is it? Mini chat. That's what it is. Oh, wait, no, the chatbot accelerator, because that's what I actually want, is the chatbot accelerator. Chatbot accelerator. Okay, so we're going to save that. So see how it like comes up right here, and I can put a message in here that says, check it out here. Something like that. Like, this is where you can get into the weeds of like the psychology of selling, or you can just like do it straight up. And so they're going to comment, they're going to get your offer. They're going to interact and say, send me the link. And then they're going to get that offer. And so now we have to have a place to send them. So obviously I have a place on my funnel and website, which is what I'm going to show you. But this is how you set it up in Instagram so that they comment and you can send them a link. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to build this out in high level, because you can also do this and go high level. So let's just open this up real quick. Let me open this up, and I'm actually going to go into my summer school account, because I think in this one, I'm connected. So we need to be connected to a social media account so you can see how this goes. So let me actually go into a different one. And then I'll share screen, I promise. Okay, so once again, we have to start thinking, same process. What do we want to happen in this process? And what we want to happen in this process is, we're going to share this tab instead. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and we're going to do that. And we'll go from here. Okay, so we're going to add this in. We're going to create a brand new workflow. Okay, so start from scratch. And in this workflow, we're actually going to name this Instagram DM Sleep. Okay, so we built it out in mini chat. We are also going to build it out in high level so you can see the difference between the two of them, because this service is also available in high level. And if you are a brand new business owner and you're trying to like cut down on costs, then I want you to go all in on GHL, because this will have every single thing that you need. You won't need anything else. Mini chat is an extra, I want to say $20 a month. And so if you're like, what should I do? 100% do GHL. Okay, we're going to do a new trigger. And this new trigger is going to be Instagram. So see how it's like Instagram comments on a post right here. And notice how it says beta. So this is why I'm teaching ManyChat as well, because it is in beta mode. And yeah. So from there, we're going to choose our post that we have, and we'll go from there. So we're going to select, so the page is, and then we select Mandy Summers, and then the post type is a published post, and then the post is, and then you choose the post. Okay, so let's just say I was going to use this last post. So now we have chosen. So even though ManyChat has fixed it and it's like the next post, in high level, you have to go in and actually, after you post, choose that post. So within, like, as soon as you post, this is the next thing that you do. Save the trigger. Okay. We're going to save. I always save up top so that I know that it's happening. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in comment, reply in comments. Okay. So this is how, like, if they comment, then we're going to comment back. So, and what I like to do is go into ChatGPT, and I like ChatGPT to write me like 20 different comments or 10 different comments. And then you say something like, great, your sleep guide is in your DMs. Enjoy. Sweet dreams, something like that. Okay. And so, and you're going to add at least 5 or 10 responses, so that when people respond, it's not just one response from you. It doesn't look like a robot. You've got multiple. So we just add a new response, You can add as many as you want. Okay. And so, and I've noticed that this tag feature, maybe like I said, they're always improving, but when I first used it, it didn't work great. It was kind of awkward. And so I don't use it anymore. And this is, you can come in and say contact first name. So it's going to say, enjoy Mandy, like something like that, but it doesn't always work. So I don't actually use this in the Instagram area. Okay. So we're going to save that action. So when they comment on this post, then, and in fact, okay. So comment on a post, we're going to add another filter, and I forgot this part. Sorry. And it contains the phrase sleep. Okay. So if we don't do this, then anytime somebody comments, it's going to automatically DM them, and you can, add multiples in here. So sleep, sleepy, all the different things. So sorry, I forgot that part. So then they'll get a response, and you want to do 5 to 10 of those. And then from here, we are going to send them an Instagram DM. Okay, so we're going to reply on the comment, and then we're going to create the DM. And here, the contact first name, which is like it will fill in their first name. It doesn't always work either. So I do something like, hey, thanks for requesting the download. And then you can add it right here. So you'll add that download right here, or you can just add a link that they can click through to. See how this one just doesn't have as much as this. So, and actually, let me see here. We want to go to next. We can also like add in additional things, like a wait step here that says, where we wait like 10 hours and then we reply back and we're like, hey, so how did it go? Things like that, which you could actually create maybe in high level as well. Oh, and you know what? I forgot I wasn't sharing this tab. So sorry, I'm still getting used to like switching back and forth from tabs. But and I just stopped sharing. I'm so sorry. What I want you to understand is like either way is going to work decent. The ManyChat will work flawlessly. The GHL will work decent. And so if that's what you can do, then do this and just keep it one. And then you can follow up manually, especially if You're not getting a ton of comments to start out with. It's not going to be as hard. The other thing that you can add here is a tag. So you're going to want to add a contact tag that says downloaded sleep guide right here. And then we add this new tag. Okay, so from there, does anybody have, okay, Lisa Jo says, will this also work for YouTube? And unfortunately, no, it does not. So that's why we're going to now kind of shift gears. We've done Instagram. We're now going to lean all into YouTube. And I'm going to show you how this is done on YouTube. So the first thing that we want to do is think, where are we going to send them? And this is why it's important to understand the messaging, because we know with Instagram, we're like, comment. In YouTube, we have to say, check the link in the links in the description below. And then we also, every time you upload a video, you should be putting a comment with your main link that you're wanting them to take action on and pinning that comment. That is super important. And I can show you exactly how to do that. In fact, put a 3 in the comments if you're like, show us how to do that. Put a 4 if you're like, we're good. We know how to do that. Let me just pull up one real quick. I just posted this one. And I don't think I did this because it posted this morning. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we are going to reshare screen. And we're going to do share this tab instead. Okay, so this is my video I just posted in my gym. And it's for my vibration plate that I absolutely love. It was the unboxing. So I have one. We had another one that just got sent to us. And so what I want to do, notice how my link is right here. So we're talking turning scrolls into sales on this live today. The first thing you want to put, like whatever you want them to take action in, you need to put right here at the top so it can be seen. If you bury it down here, it's not going to get seen. You have to put it up top, right? So it's that first thing that's being seen. How do I, let's just refresh this. Okay. So then from there, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put this link in the comments below. Okay. Now this one is leading directly to a sale, which I don't always do. I highly recommend leading to capturing their information so that you can email them later multiple times, not just a one time. But once you put this in, you're going to heart the comment, you're going to like it yourself, and then you're going to pin it to the top. So this is what will show up at the top every time this video gets, or somebody views this video, this is what they're going to be seeing. So that is the beginning of turning your scrolls into sales. Now, the next thing that I want you to do, I want you to actually build out a way to capture their email. And so we talked about creating a lead magnet. Did we talk about that yesterday, or was that one of the courses that I was teaching? Suddenly I'm like wondering, was that something that we created or not? Will you put a 2 in the comments if yes, we talked about lead magnets? And so what we want to do here is do some massive value add. Okay, massive value add. So if we are wanting to, let's say, sell a sleep course of some sort, we have to give them an incentive for jumping down in there into the comments. And so every single person should have a lead magnet who is on YouTube, so that you are constantly capturing information. In fact, I was coaching somebody a couple months back. They had 20,000 subscribers, huge amount of views on YouTube. They did not have one email from that. I was like, are you kidding me? Do you know how much money you're leaving on the table right now? And it's so simple. Like, you just find whatever that ideal target client is. Ask ChatGPT, if you've done that exercise, what would be the perfect freebie download for this person? And they can go down and you can create the download, and then you put it into the funnel that I'm about to show you how to create. And so anytime you're thinking about your ideal client, you want to think, what could be a very quick, fast win that would inspire them to take action? So if I'm watching a channel about Yellowstone National Park and I'm planning a vacation there, I could actually pretty easily want to download the top 10 things to do in Yellowstone National Park, or the top 3 places you have to go in Yellowstone National Park. Now, the key to this is that you don't just create a random download, but you jump in and you do some keyword research that can help you in this download. So I'm going to share screen and show you. There we go. Okay, let me reshare screen to here, and we actually need to be on this tab instead. Okay, so the way that we kind of find a title for our keyword that's gonna, for our download is we want to do a little bit of keyword research. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. In fact, I have a free growth school, YouTube growth school beginners edition for anybody who wants it. And put a comment, growth school, in the comments below, and I'll make sure and get that to you, because I'm not sure it's actually in the description because I just barely finished it yesterday, and it will walk you through how to do a lot of this. And so what you want to do is up in the search bar, you're going to start typing what you think your download's going to be about. So Yellowstone National Park, Yellowstone Park for kids. And we always want to get it under 5,000. Okay. I like as close to 1,000 as I can. So right here, Yellowstone Park travel, or Yellowstone National Park travel guide. That is awesome. That's 1,300. It's exactly what we need. And that is going to hopefully lead the right people in. So I would actually call my freebie this. And then I also want to see, now that we're here, see how there's others. So right here, 720, 810. This is actually an extension called Keywords Everywhere that I'm using. So it's a Chrome browser extension. And so now I know I'm going to create a Yellowstone National Park travel guide. Perfect. This is great. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create that guide. And I'm not going to go over that today. Just, make it as a PDF, save it. And then we're going to build out a funnel that's going to help us in that process. So we're going to come over into, give me just a sec. We're going to come over into GHL, and we're going to actually build this out. And I'm going to build it out in my YouTube live animation. Okay, there we go. This is much better. Okay, share this tab instead. So we're going to come into our GHL account, and over here on the sides, GHL does everything. So Go High Level does everything. It's where you put your conversations from Instagram, from Facebook. It keeps them all in one place. It's your calendar, like your calendar booking, your scheduling, everything's here. All the contacts. So instead of having contacts at Thinkific and contacts over Active Campaign and in ClickFunnels, it's like all in one place. And then it also does all your payments, all your emailing, your automations, which I'll show you, sites, which is websites, funnels, stores, webinars, forms, surveys, quizzes. It's everything in one place. And it's only $97 a month. It's incredible. And your membership site. So you can actually build out your online courses here. So obviously, I love this program. You can probably feel my love for it. And I will definitely do another video kind of breaking it all down. In fact, I think that there's one on this channel, but right now I'm going to walk you through how to build a funnel out, the entire system. So the first thing you want to do is come to sites, and you're going to come to funnels. Websites and funnels, they both have domains. So they both have like a website link. The difference is a funnel has one purpose, and you'll see this. Okay. So we're going to name this our Yellowstone National Park Travel Guide. And you're going to see that the way a website or a funnel is set up is there's steps, and every step we only want one thing to happen. Like we only want to tell the people to do one thing, versus being on a website where there's like 55 options. They can click through, they can chuck everything out. It's like, whatever. So we're going to do opt-in. Okay. And I'm actually going to name this the keyword that I found to go with it. So the path is so let's say I did summerstravel.com / So this is the path, Yellowstone National Park travel guide. And we do the dashes in between, and then it connects with SEO. Okay, we're going to end up with a blank page. Put a S in the comments if you've ever been a scrapbooker, because this is going to remind you of scrapbooking a little bit. So the first step is we're going to create an opt-in page. And you can go through the templates. I'm going to show you how to create this from blank, just so we don't have to like edit a ton of stuff. And what you have to think scrapbooking wise is everything is layered, right? So you have your main page, and then you kind of layer things in sections, and you might have like a purple background that has a white frame that then has a picture on top of it. Okay, so the section comes in first, and this is green. So all sections are green unless they're global, but we're not going to talk about that now. Then the next one is a row. So rows are kind of what you put your columns into. So if you want 2 columns, then you're going to drag in the 2. I'm just going to do 1 here. And then the column is purple. So sections are blue, columns purple. And then you add your elements on top of that. So you have to have a section, a row, and a column before you can add a comment or an element. And I just want to put my logo in here, right there. So I'm going to drag that in. I'm going to click on it. And if I come down to the side here, I can actually insert an image. So let's just put summer school in there, and it's huge. So I'm going to adjust it to 150, and now it's perfect size. Okay, so awesome. We've got our little header section all set, ready to go. The next thing that we want to do, we're going to add another section. And in this section, we are going to add a column. And in this column, I want a headline. And we're going to say, download our Yellowstone National Park travel guide. And then we are going to, this is how we capture the information. Okay, so this is where you want to pay attention. We want to capture the information by inserting a form, just like that. Select your form, and you need to create a form for this. And so I have some forms already created, and this is what they look like. But you can come in and edit this form. And let's say I wanted to ask them for their address because I wanted to mail them something. There's lots of different things that you can put in the form to gather information. You can even do custom fields. Then what we want is, we're going to come back to here. We want to say, when this form is submitted, we actually want to go to the next step right here. So we're going to set up a thank you page because we want to control like what is happening. The first thing on this page, what we want to happen is we want to gather their information so we can send them the guide. And then on the next page, because they've said yes and they've gathered that we've gathered the information from them and they've opted in, we want to say thank you. So we're going to come back and we're going to create a second funnel step, which is right here. Add a new step, step 2, or thank you. Okay, so we're going to come in here and on this page, and I know I'm not like doing massive designs on here or anything. Honestly, it doesn't need to be. Like I remember spending like 3 months building out a funnel and then using that funnel and it didn't convert at all. And then I simplified it. So like I literally built it just like this and I started getting way more leads with it because it was just simple. It was just like so easy. So I'm going to do the same thing where I put in a logo. We're going to save that. And then I'm going to do one more section right here. And what I want to do here is get them to take action on something different. Okay, so I'm going to put a button in here. And on this button, I want to send them to a website. And I want to say on this button, join our Yellowstone travel community. Something like that. Okay. And I can change the color of it to be whatever I want. And then at the bottom right here where it says website URL, that's where I would put my Facebook link. All right. So right there. Perfect. So now what we have is we have a funnel that has an opt-in page and a thank you page. Now, how do we turn these into sales? This is where the magic is. Now we've collected their email. We're going to come into automations and we're going to create a workflow from scratch. So automations are basically like they start with a trigger of some sort. And so this one we're going to call Yellowstone guide. And the trigger is going to be the form. When somebody submits the form, and we're going to say which form it is. So it was the lead generation form. When somebody submits that, then we can do lots of things. We can send them an Instagram DM. We can email them. We can do a voicemail, like whatever it is. So we're going to do send an email. And right here at the bottom, we're going to add the attachment. So if you are posting on Instagram, for instance, and you are like, okay, if you want to download my Yellowstone National Park guide, go ahead and type in guide or comment guide, and then that can then DM them the link to your funnel, to the funnel that you just created. They'll fill their information out, and that will trigger the automation to turn on, and it will automatically email them the guide. Now you can charge for the guide. Like the guide doesn't have to be free. You can be like, great, thanks for checking this out. To purchase the guide, it's $5, and here's where to purchase it from. And so if you want to turn your scrolls into sales, you have to start thinking, how am I gathering information and what am I selling? And how am I going to capture their attention enough to get them to opt in and say yes, so that I then can sell to them. And then from here, we don't just post and ghost, okay? If they're going to download your guide, you're going to start emailing them at least once a week, maybe every other day, maybe every day. And you can set that all up right here. So after we do the email and we've got everything set here, save that action, then we're going to wait. We're going to put in here a wait step for 1 day or 2 days or however long it is. And then we can either send them another email. We can schedule to follow up. We can call them if we have gathered their phone information. Like there's lots of different things that we can do. But the main thing to think is, what is the next step for them? And that's why it's important for you to have clarity in it, because if they're going to come in to your system and say, yes, send me the information for this, and then you send them that information, it doesn't stop there. You want to continually nurture and guide them through your process. It's like, I want you to think about it in these terms. You have people coming into your system. They are looking for something, right? Like they're looking for an answer that you can hopefully help solve. But have you ever gone somewhere and you're like, I have no idea where to go. I have no idea what to do next. And you're just kind of walking around lost. That is the picture that I want you to be picturing in your head of how your customers are, unless you have a system set up. Where are you sending them? What is the next step? Like, how do you guide them to that next step? What do you need to be doing to help them find that next step? Like, what comes next? How can you serve them? How can you help them? And if you are posting and not giving them a way to interact with you, if you are posting and you're not giving them a way to opt in and say, yes, I want to learn more, like, I'm not surprised we don't have sales. Like, we have to think, where are we sending them next? What is the next step in this process? And if you can figure that out, what your next step is, and get that clarity, and just like what I shared, as you start to walk on the way appears. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. How many of you put action in the comments if you are ready to start taking action? Because if you want people to start taking action on your things, you have to be the one to initiate that action. You have to be the one to start the action, to get that action going, to start the process, so that they in turn know that you're taking action and they want to follow you. It's so important that you become that person. You become the guide, And that's like exactly what we're talking about. You get to be the guide. You get to be the one that guides them through and helps them get to the other to where they want to be. And I often will say, where are your clients starting? Like I want you to think like, where are they starting? And where are you leading them to? And I want you to think of a big bridge. There's a gap in between. They don't know how to get there. There's like a giant ravine that they don't know how to like navigate through. And if you're not telling them what the next step is, what they need to do next, if you're not communicating with them, they're going to have no way of knowing what to do next. Like they just won't. Start here. This is where they're starting. You have to build the bridge and show them the path. And the way that we do that is we create the different ways for them to interact and opt in along that path. Like, what is the next step? What's the next thing that they want to do? And a lot of times it's like, oh, well, we want to post and have 100 people purchase. And that would be amazing. And that does happen when you've built an audience. But you have to start somewhere. So don't beat up on yourself if you're starting somewhere and you're like, oh, it's not working. Like so many times what I see is people will post for a week or 2 weeks and then they're like, it didn't work. So I just gave up. Are you kidding me? Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep posting and start like in that posting, keep learning, like keep thinking, okay, what worked, what didn't? This is why we do YouTube audits. It's like, I want to go in and see what are the videos that are getting the most views, not just the most views, but what are the videos that are actually bringing in subscribers? And then we rinse and repeat. We do that over again. We don't just keep creating like random videos that are getting like 2 views. No, we create, we test, we try. And then when something pops off, we're like, ooh, we need to create more of that. And so we start creating more of that. And we start to see more momentum. And so getting to a space where your scrolls turn into sales, it becomes a fine art that you get really good at because you know that you need to lead them to the next step. What is the next step for them? What do they need to do in order to get from point A, from where they are, to point B, where they want to be? So your homework for today is to map out your customer journey. I want you to start thinking about, in fact, let me see if I can pull up one of my customer journeys so that you can kind of see what it might look like on your end. Okay. Because when we start thinking about not just the posting, but beyond that, things change. Customer journey. And this one is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to like show you. Oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. I love this one. Okay, let me see. This is actually not in a window I'm sharing, so I need to go back over to the window that I'm sharing in, and we'll pop it up this way. Okay. Sorry, give me just one moment as I'm working through this. So the customer journey has 9 different steps in it. And those 9 steps start with getting attention. That's the very first thing that we want to start with. It's bringing awareness to who you are and what you're standing for. What are you there to share with them? Okay, so we're going to share to this. Let's do, there we go. Okay, sorry. I only could figure out how to share the window. So this is how we're going to map out. And actually, let's change this to day 4 because sometimes this is day 1, but today, oh, this is day 3 actually. Okay, so we want to map out like where, like awareness. This is what happens. We post and we think everything's done. And that is like the step 1. Okay, so step one is bringing awareness, consistent content, building your brand. Step two is after you post, you have to start engaging. You have to be commenting. You have to go and find other channels that are like you and comment on those channels. You got to be sending messages, setting up DMs, like doing all of those things, automating so that they can then begin engaging with you. You don't just want to bring awareness, you want them to engage. And then we have to get them to subscribe. What are we doing to get them to subscribe? And how do we opt them into that? And then from there, we want them to start converting. And sometimes this can be a very fast process, and sometimes it's like years in the making. But we have to know where we're sending them. And then it's like, okay, they're excited, they've bought in, they've enrolled, they've made a purchase, and now they're like consuming your content. And we're hoping that they're starting to get results from that content. And then they become an advocate and they're just like, oh my gosh, I love this course. It's so great. And they begin promoting it. So when you are looking at your customer, your ideal customer, what are the things that you can do in those processes to help them walk through all of this? Reiki and resonance. I am so glad you posted about that. Let me pull something up. I actually checked your account and it looks like you're unsubscribed, which is why you're not getting my emails. So let me pull up my link so that you can go in and resubscribe. And that way you can get some of it will automatically put you it will re-put you through the system. But I need to find this link really quickly. So yeah, if you're not getting emails, that's probably why. And I will show you how to resubscribe. Okay, so here it is. So if you're missing emails, it might be because you've unsubscribed. And so this will actually take you to the unsubscribe link, but you need to click the resubscribe to my list and that will put you back in. Okay. Oh, that broke that up. Hold on. Give me just a sec. I'm just going to share the link. There we go. Okay, so I'm super excited. Tomorrow we're going to go do a deep dive on Go High Level and all of my favorite things and different ways that you can use this, especially as a YouTuber. I am literally shocked. This is one reason why I started this channel, at the amount of coaches and YouTubers that are not utilizing a strong system. And with GHL, it's $97 a month and it does everything for you. There is literally no reason as a small business owner to not have this system in place so that you can grow effectively. So to come back tomorrow, we're going to go through tons of tech. I'm going to show you a lot of really cool features. And I hope that in this process, you're starting to feel clarity. Today, I want you to really focus in on your customer journey, where you're leading them, and what type of a lead magnet you can start creating to start gathering your ideal client into an email list. Okay, everybody, if you found value in this, will you please hit that subscribe button, click the thumbs up, and click the link or the bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video or I go live. I just want to say thank you for so many subscribes. I'm just honored. Yesterday, I posted really late at night that we had hit 300 subscribers. And I was so happy about that. And then I woke up this morning and we were at 317 subscribers. I was like shook. I was like, are you serious? Like overnight? That is so amazing. And so I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and subscribing. And I hope that you have found massive value in this. And we will chat with you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.